If you're just joining us, this is the Ventura County Fusion taking on the SoCal Seahorses here in the United Soccer League's Premier Development League. It is 0-0 here in the 9th minute. Danny Page alongside Kory Kindle here, former Fusion star. Drafted by the Colorado Rapids, right?
Yeah, 25th overall.
Very nice.
Pretty exciting day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Kory now joining us in the broadcast booth as Sterling Hancock clears that away. You can tell Jeremiah Wright, the forward for Seahorses. You can see that he is powerful, great motor. He really tormented Fusion in Fusion's 3-2 away win 10 days ago against this team. Kiffey now slips that one for Bell. Tries to play the long ball to Duran Stanley. But eventually Kaufman comes in and takes that away. Trying to play through the midfield. Alvaro Beltran. I bring up that game from a couple weeks ago, and it was really something to behold. I should say just a week ago, actually. And Fusion would take the lead before going a man down. Ruben Rodriguez sent off.
Nice ball.
Giving up 2 goals. Fusion were trailing 2-1 and a man down. Incredibly, came back to win 3-2. It's really helped kickstart this run. Here's Torrey's ball. Just a little bit too much on it.
Looks like the wingbacks, though, from Ventura Fusion are getting up and down the line. It's a good thing, positive.
Yeah, very much so. That's what you like to see, right? That was your calling.
That was my bread and butter. But yeah, I loved running up and down the lines and scoring goals and get some assists.
And what position did you play predominantly when you were with Fusion?
When I was with Fusion, I played left back the whole time.
A right-footed left back. You are left-footed.
Left-footed, yeah.
So much more these days. You see the right-footed players playing on the left-hand side, don't you?
Yeah.
It's really the popular thing to do. I'd say rather made popular by Arjen Robben and that Bayern Munich team, and Frank Ribery playing the reverse role, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I think Bayern Munich kind of ousted Barcelona with that whole system. Barcelona was running, and then Bayern kind of figured it out, and saw that a couple years ago when Bayern beat them 5-1, I believe, in Champions League.
You don't have to remind me. Played out, and a throw-in should be coming for Fusion. Torrey over to take it. As we are well underway here at the Ventura College Sportsplex, just about a dozen minutes in. My name is Danny Page. With me, former Fusion star Kory Kindle. And the flag was up, Mr. Kindle. Two teams just sort of getting to know each other. No one wants to make a mistake early on. And again, I say that because of the thriller they were just involved in, I don't know, just 10 days ago. It was incredible to see Fusion on the road, down a man, completely control the second half, score 2 goals, and ultimately win a key game. 3 consecutive wins for Ventura County, and if they are to get a 4th tonight, we'll move to a tie atop the table.
Good job, though, closing the ball down, tight spaces, working as a team.
That also looked like it hurt.
Yeah, it seemed to have a certain sharpness tonight, I think, at the outset of the match that wasn't really there before.
Located in downtown Ventura at Tech Chiropractic.
Seahorses now putting together a spell of possession. There's Hodgen. Hits that forward for Cunningham. Played all the way across the field to Bogdanovich. 1-2 ball with right, and that's given away. Here's Lori Bell. When can he start? Hands off to Kiffy. Matt LaGrassa. Looks like Kiffy got in the way there a bit. Slips it for Colby. In the 14th minute, plays it back to James Kiffy. Kiffy will look to cross, certainly, won't he? Nice little slip for Bell. Bell will shoot! And a nice curling hit, just not enough on it with the left hand.
Yep, seen a lot of those in the World Cup. Already get past the keeper, but not there.
Absolutely, it's about sort of judging the angle, isn't it? And just trying to whip it around the goalie. Certainly the goal of the tournament today, though, wasn't it? From James Rodriguez.
Oh
that
my
was,
gosh. I don't know if that tops Tim Cahill's goal, though.
Tim Cahill's was pretty incredible. The way Rodriguez brought it down, though, was
that was
unbelievable.
Yeah, that was great.
It's been quite a tournament and nice crowd tonight. We hope that events like this, like the World Cup, bring more fans out to matches like this. Certainly great crowds on television, and it's great to be broadcasting live on television to all of you on Cap 6 here in Ventura. Also streamed youtube.com/VCFusion. Here's Kiffy, diagonal ball for Minter. It was just a little bit too optimistic, wasn't it?
Just a little bit. I think
Duran Stanley,
yeah, I think Duran Stanley looking for the ball to the top a little bit, maybe check in a little bit more and see it play off his midfielder a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that. Now remember, this is first appearance for the team. Playing
My bad.
with, well, truth be told, Kory, though, in the PDL, that's how it goes, right? I mean, you have players coming in and out all season long.
Definitely.
I haven't seen one starting lineup that's been exactly the same all year. So Rudy Ibarra's had a lot of work to do as far as finding the right mix.
Yeah, chemistry's a huge thing as well. Players unfamiliar with where their forwards like to go. So.
Here's Alfaro. Through for Stanley. Stanley touches it into the defender. He's first there around the goalie, and Stanley can't put it away. What an opportunity on his debut, 16th minute.
And just as I said, ball to the feet.
Right.
Ball over the top.
Right. Boy, that was a good opportunity. That has to be so frustrating as a forward, too. The defender did really well to close down. And now trying to kickstart it the other way is Cunningham. Cunningham through to right, who's stretched wide right. Colby leaves absolutely no doubt and clears that one away. Minter over to Cazares. There's Matt LaGrassa.
I like the way Cazares is always looking for the ball, his feet, always looking to distribute right away. The ball's not on his foot for for that long.
Tried to play that over the top for Minter, who's making some nice runs on his own. A lot of Cal Poly players out there. Minter, LaGrassa, Colby. Here's Lori Bell from Missouri, Kansas City. Far cry from San Luis Obispo. Diagonal ball. Will it hit LaGrassa? Defender falls down. '18th minute as Fusion trying to go in front. Bell cut back. Kiffy delays, shoots, and chops it wide. Tried to create some space and just waited a bit too long to pull the trigger.
Yeah, such a smart player. Saw that space open up and just gave it out wide and looked for it 1-2 back in the middle and barely hit it over wide.
Sky.
Goal kick coming. Hayden Kaufman will take for the SoCal Seahorses. It has been a rough season, to say the least, for Seahorses as we take a look at the standings in the Southwest Division in the Premier Development League. Seahorses with 1 point from 9 games. And as the player is flagged for offside on the near side, they lost 2 games in injury time on the year and obviously relinquished the advantage they had against Fusion. A lot of points left out there. But because Seahorses have only 1 point, it's a log jam atop the table, whereas Missioneros have 18, Fusion in second with 15. San Jose and OC Patiadores Blues both have 14, although San Jose has played 1 more game than their counterparts in the top 4. Fresno Fuego with 10. Fusion with a tough 4th of July trip coming up as they head out to play Fresno. 5 p.m. kickoff at Chickchansey on Thursday night, the 3rd. Looks like Fusion will spend the 4th of July in the Sacramento area, and then on the 5th take on the San Jose Earthquakes PDL team. Now Kip Colby is down, holding his back. Well, he really went in there with a lot of guts.
Rough landing there.
Yeah, looks like he just sort of fell on his back, and now his college teammates are there checking on him as well. I think the trainer will be out to see him. Well, they're not going to bring any treatment on. They've waved off the treatment. Colby will walk to the sideline, will he, or will he be able to continue on? Tough kid. Referee stopped play and made them take the throw in again because there's a second ball on the field in the bottom corner in the 21st minute now.
Yeah, you can see Trey Mitchell over there with his hand covering the sun. It's getting pretty brutal out there, it looks like.
Funny thing is when the 2 teams played, I'll get to my point in a second. A long throw, right heads it on. Opportunity on the back post to claim the ball. And now a skying cross in. Can Wright hold this one in? No, should be a goal kick. You know, the game down there at La Mirada High School just 10 days ago, it was a 7 o'clock kickoff, and there was a big fuss between the Fusion players and James Kiffey, acting captain, about the coin toss. And they said, Kiffey, you have to win the coin toss, specifically so that Mitchell's eyes and the defender's eyes weren't in the sun. He won the coin toss. Fusion did not go into the sun and eventually scored the opening goal.
Huge factor.
Massive factor. Although I don't know about you, fullback, you're forward the whole time anyway. You're looking back. You're looking back at your teammates most of the time anyway.
True, but when those goal kicks are coming, you can't see them at all.
Just giving you a hard time. Javentore, who is a name familiar to you as well, perhaps that you've seen over the years?
Yeah, definitely. I know he played. I saw him play at UCLA. I think is where the place I saw him.
Connection.
Yeah, the connection, and just the name sounded familiar. And I believe he played. I believe he played at the LA Galaxy Academy. Does that sound familiar?
I believe so. Santa Monica kid, grew up there, still lives at home with his family. Something he wanted to do, going to UCLA. Something that really can help you maintain your focus on the game. US U20. Tony Alfaro will need to get off his feet quickly back to Trey Mitchell. They live dangerously. Torre isn't first that. Cunningham is. And that goes out for a throw. Throwing for Fusion, that said. 23rd minute now. Not loads of goal mouth action, but Fusion have had the best opportunities. Here's Colby to LaGrassa. Last pass came from Bell, now trying to hit Kiffey, and that goes out over the end line. You can see the three players in LaGrassa, Kiffy, and Colby trying to combine to break down the Seahorses' defense, and they nearly did.
Visit GoArmy.com for more information. The United States Army. Army strong.
Goal kick. And Javentura, you could see how difficult it was for him to pick the ball out of the sun, wasn't it?
Yeah, once that sun sets, that'll be all good for them.
Duran Stanley. It's a little bit too much mustard on it. And a goal kick coming. News in the other clash at the top of the table. Fresno Fuego have surged in front of LA Missioneros 1-0 in just the second minute. That would pull Fuego closer into playoff contention. But that means that a Fusion victory combined with a Missioneros loss would leave the two teams even atop the table. On points at least, although Missioneros have a superior goal difference. And a free kick coming now. Jared Odenbeck. Taken short, very short. Here's Mitch Power will send it in with his left foot. And look at that. How about your center forward, Duran Stanley? Your teammates really appreciate that too, don't you? When you're the number 9 and you track back like that, make a hustle play.
Yeah, definitely. When you see your number 9 just working so hard and goes to the 70th minute plus after that, seeing your forward do all that work, especially lone striker, and just makes you want to work harder, especially as a defender.
Cunningham had it edge of the area. Torre can't corral the ball away from him. Goes to the ground, seemed rather tame. Look for a free kick. Throw in Seahorses. Cunningham with another chance. Towards the end line, low cross. Alfaro decides to control it. Fusion look to play out of the back and are able to get the ball away. Stanley, first touch.
Great work.
Stanley called for the free kick. What do you think? Was that just?
No, I was a little unlucky, but I think he might have got him a little bit.
And it's in a similar spot to last time, maybe about 10 yards further in. At this point, just send the ball into the area, right?
Yeah, there's no point of knocking it 5 yards and then send it in. You're just giving a chance for the defender to intercept the ball.
Teasing free kick, but Tony Alfaro's there. Alfaro really an authoritative presence in central defense. Here's Power. Drifting free kick, I should say drifted in. Not a free kick, but nonetheless, sent into the box. Out of play, goal kick. Not too much in the way of coordinated attack, really, for Seahorses, is there?
Yeah, it's kind of just getting some free kicks and hoping for the best when you send the ball in there.
Sort of a hockey-oriented strategy in some ways.
Yeah.
Struggling to play the ball along the perimeter the way Fusion have. As time continues to tick on and we work into the 28th minute, I think you look at Kiffy's opportunity and that for Stanley and consider those two chances with frustration, really.
Yeah, the Fusion has definitely had the better of the chances. It's just being clinical in front of goal now. And hopefully this cross right here.
Stanley to Kiffy. Kiffy! And chested right back to the goalkeeper. That was nervy, wasn't it?
Never done that before.
I was just going to say, what's the thought process like leading into the moment when you...
It's really sketchy.
Yeah.
You don't want to head the ball. You don't want to chest the ball into your goal. And I've headed the ball back a few times. And
you ever scored an own goal, be honest?
No, never scored an
own goal.
Never.
That's why.
In practice a couple times I have. But
Bell to Stanley, and he heads it over.
Practice a couple times, but other
never
than
in a game.
No, never in a game.
That has to feel good. But it's because you don't chest the ball back to your own goalkeeper. Now, sometimes you will head it back to the goalie.
Yeah.
But to It's when you're having to use your whole upper body to really power the ball forward is the issue.
Or
right?
when it's a line drive ball is coming across the box and you're just there. You don't want that ball to go in the goal. It's the worst.
In a lot of cases, you just head it out for the
corner kick or
corner and just move on with your life.
Yep.
Living in a doubt. Javantori, he's a big left back, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's got some pace though.
He's been great at center back. Given away now, bad giveaway for Fusion. Strike on goal, and it's wide. Bowman with the hit. You have to take advantage of that opportunity, don't you?
Yeah, it's rough when you give the ball away in your own third, but good opportunities there for the Seahorses.
For the Fusion.
Nice run.
Long diagonal ball. LaGrassa to Kiffy. Well won by Matt LaGrassa. And LaGrassa gets it back into the area. Nice intervention before that ball got to Stanley. Fancy footwork from Kiff. Crossed in. Lori Bell was just about there to clean up the mess. Ends up behind him, and here's Cazares. Augie back to Matt LaGrassa. Kiffy looking to cut back. Drifts it. Stanley just can't get there. To me, it seems more more when than if in regards to the debut goal for Stanley. It's coming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another goal, which reminds us, if for some reason you can't make it to a Fusion home game, the Fusion is proud to announce our partnership with Caps TV. Caps TV is working with the Fusion to broadcast all Fusion home games.
Kiffy tries to track that one down.
And
Doesn't get all that.
Ventura. Caps provides television equipment
Sterling
and
Hancock.
editing facilities.
Or to
Visit
Javantori.
capstv.org to tune in to the great page.
Cazares.
For all your Fusion home games.
Chase Minter. Now Lori Bell.
Good switch and play there.
Really stroking the ball well. Minter looked to the back heel. Maybe getting a little too fancy.
Yeah, it's always good to be a little more fundamental.
Here's LaGrassa. Great turn to create some space. LaGrassa weaving right. LaGrassa shoots, and it's saved. Kaufman is there. Nice move from Matt LaGrassa all around, though, Kory.
Yeah, definitely. Just need to get enough mustard on the ball.
Just another final score from the Southwest Division. FC Tucson 3, OC Blues 2. And that is music to the ears of Fusion fans. Blues trail Fusion by a point for the final playoff spot. They could have taken that playoff spot.
What a run.
With a result. Torrey's run, but he just plays the ball a bit too hard, and that's a goal kick. Really, though, once he hits his stride.
Yeah, it takes a bit to get the pace, but once he does, it's the fastest guys out there.
Type of run that you look back on and admire, to say the least,
yeah,
right?
Definitely. Seeing an 80-yard run turn into something is pretty special when it works out well.
And did you always play the left back position? I believe I recall in high school you were an outside back as well, were you not?
No, funny thing, I actually played forward my entire life growing up until I got to college, until Jossie Zardis, who's playing with the Galaxy now, came in and kind of took over that role in front of me. Kind of got more or less demoted to left back. But
yeah, that's right. You were an attacker, and they moved you to left back.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the role? It's what you were drafted at.
At first, it was kind of hard. I wasn't really seeing a lot of the ball as I was used to. It was more you had to read the game instead of just run for the ball and shoot it on goal. But no, as time went on, I got used to it and actually loved the role, like playing that wing back there and getting up the line.
Cross to Stanley, and this time he hits it over the bar. The chances keep mounting for Durand Stanley, and he just can't get one by Kaufman. Yet another brilliant chance.
Yeah, that was hard off the half volley too.
Stanley has spent time with Chivas USA and the LA Blues. Born in Roatan, Honduras. Word is he even got called up to the Honduran national team at one point. Talented forward. Nice addition here for Fusion. As Ish Jome is away this week.
By the way,
Minter.
you saw that Chick-fil-A cow earlier. Next time you see him, go ask him for a coupon for a free chicken sandwich. Yes, Chick-fil-A cow has coupons for free chicken
Example
sandwich.
shown right here. LaGrossa's low cross, and there's just nobody to turn it in. The defender was rather casual in letting that drip through, wasn't he?
I thought he was going to clear that thing maybe over the goal or into the goal. Wasn't really sure.
We talked about leaving no doubt, you know. Not exactly what happened there. Mitch Power does clear down the field. Colby hits back to Hancock. Here's Cazares. Minter. Minter played the ball right, was pushed in that direction, and a free kick for Ventura County Fusion. Chance to set something up here. We'll take it quickly. Never mind. Bell looks to hit it, and the goalie scoops that one in. Hayden Kaufman. Opportunities continue to roll on in, but nonetheless, we remain scoreless. Seahorses in the dark blue, white trim.
By the way, that Chick-fil-A cow houses 25 coupons for free sandwiches. So find them fast when you see them.
Now swung to this near side. Nice slip ball, except Colby's there. Everything Seahorses are trying, Fusion has a response.
Yeah, the back line seems to be communicating pretty well with each other, holding it down back there.
There's been a lot of turnover in the back line because of other obligations. Ball in for Minter, and Kaufman comes in and gets it. It was a nice ball, though.
Yeah, I've always liked playing with Kip. He's always so smooth on the ball and always seems to do hit the right pass at the right time. Good player.
We were talking before the game. He's just had a series of injuries in his career. Wrong place, wrong time. Otherwise, Kiffy would be playing in Major League Soccer and not with the Ventura County Fusion, to say the least. We do love having him here. Don't get me wrong. But the talent and the pace he has is indicative of a player who really belongs in the top level of soccer in this country.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate for him. His senior year, getting injured kind of at the end of the year and not giving himself the full shot of reaching that MLS level.
Great back heel. Here's Colby's cross. Look to play it in behind the forward, Stanley. Yeah, the back four looks as good as they have all year long. LaGrassa tries to weave that one through two defenders. It's such a difficult ball to play, though, isn't it?
A little counterattack here.
Yeah, and it's on for Cunningham. Wright streaming down the far side. It's over to Jeremiah Wright. Just a little strong. Torre back to help. Here's Wright moving to his right. Low cross. Still clear in the area, but Sterling Hancock, composure and time to poke that away.
It's the hard thing with your wing backs getting forward a little too much. Your defensive center midfielder needs to be tucked in with those center backs, and it doesn't happen. Counterattacks like that can lead to goals. So.
Well, we've talked about the cohesiveness of the back line, but I think you also have to consider the midfield triangle that it looks like Fusion are working with. Cazares obviously leads as far as defensive responsibilities, but when LaGrassa is pushing as forward as much as he is in this match, it makes things a little bit more difficult, doesn't it, to
definitely
cover defensively. Look, LaGrassa's all the way up the field, and Cazares left to cover.
Midfield,
Handball called on Cazares, and a smart one. We'll take it. 38th minute now. First half still scoreless. Not sure if it's what we expected to be at, just given the opportunities Fusion has had. But this is a team that always performs well in the second half. All 3 wins come from behind victories. Colby clears that out and ensure Fusion don't go down. They went down 2-1 to Fuego. They went down again.
Stanley's working
Yeah,
really
there's
hard,
Stanley
Rob.
again. Nearly scoops that
Fancy
one away.
footwork.
Knocked out from Colby. And a throw in coming. Fusion went down 1-0 to Fuego here. 1-0 to Tucson last Saturday. And 2-1 to Seahorses. Came back and won all 3 games. Free into the area. Intervening is Hancock again, but you can't leave that much space, can you? Bowman very well could have made that 1-0. Nice turn from Bell to Minter. Now here's Lori Bell. Hits that for Kiffey, and Kiffey just can't control it. It's very difficult. The first touch is really the hardest thing to perfect, especially as a wing player, isn't it? Because you're needing to judge your spot on the field.
Your first touch sets you up for everything, whether it's a pass, shot, whether you're going to hit the ball 50 yards diagonally and switch the ball, switch the field. So yeah, that first touch is definitely a determining factor of how good your next pass is going to be.
Mitchell
Pretty
scrambles to
casual
get
back
that
here.
away, yeah. Just a bit of pressure. Ratcheted up from Seahorses. Getting into the game a little more now. See if Kiffey can pull him out. Diagonal for Colby. He'll look for Stanley. Stanley has it and he hits it wide. Another opportunity.
Fusion's definitely getting their chances out there.
It fell right for him,
Yeah.
too, and he just blasted it wide. The defender out in front sort of has his head down. Hodgen, he realized that that was a poor touch. Stanley has had some really solid opportunities. And again, he's finding his feet, hasn't played for this team.
Oh.
Stanley tackled from behind, and Bell hits that first time. That will easily be a yellow card.
I think, yeah.
And that's going to be a yellow
No
card.
question. Free kick inside of 30 yards now. Coming for Fusion.
Michael Hodgins receiving the yellow card. Kick.
And here's Kiffey to take it with the score 0-0 in the 42nd minute. Kiffey on frame, and the goalie tracks it down. Probably had it covered. Nonetheless, I thought he would be laying that toward the far post. Instead, he tried to sort of tuck it in the near side.
Yeah, a bit ambitious out there from about 25 out.
This is
but
James Kiffey we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Greatest soccer franchise to Ventura County, and we will be doing it yet again on July 15th.
I hear the announcement in the stadium. A reminder to all of you watching. July 15th, Glasgow Rangers coming to take on Fusion. What a match that should be. The 7th British team Fusion has faced. Not sure is anyone, at least in a public friendly, as famous as Glasgow Rangers from Scotland.
Yeah, I remember we played the Swansea.
Did you get to play in the Swansea match?
Yeah, I played against Swansea. That was a pretty interesting game out in, I think it was at Oxnard College.
Oxnard
though.
College,
This
yeah.
one will be at Ventura College, correct?
It'll be at Ventura College
That'll
under
be
the
great.
lights.
That'll be great.
The Rangers fans will.
Yeah.
There are Rangers fans coming from the UK, from the East Coast, from all over the West Coast. It's the first match Rangers has played in North America since 2007.
Have we had any Americans play for Rangers? I believe.
Yes, I think there were
You do?
4 at once. I remember DeMarcus Beasley was there,
Oh,
Carlos
okay.
Bocanegra was there.
Yeah.
I think it was Beasley, Bocanegra, Maurice Edu.
Yeah, I
most
remember
recently.
Maurice
Seems to me there was one more American player there. What a thrill it would be if there was an American currently on the roster.
Yeah, that'd be great.
When you think of Rangers and you think of Scottish football, you think of just the rabid crowds on those European nights trying to will their team to a win against Manchester United, or Celtic's famous win over Barcelona. And I know Rangers fans, I didn't mean to bring up Celtic in the same breath. The great rival. One of the great rivalries in all of world sport, to say the least. I mean, it's no Fusion and Fuego, but we'll have to do.
Don't want to get people confused over here.
Right, right. Here's Laurie Bell. Nice turn from Laurie. Great footwork from these midfielders. Down the line to Stanley. He should be able to get there.
You see Stanley still working pretty hard up top.
Definitely in the 45th minute, too. Throwing for Fusion. See if Fusion can get an early goal, perhaps. Late goal, but in the first half, no less. 30 seconds of regular time left. We'll have probably just 1, maybe 2 minutes of time added on. Stanley chasing it down. Cutting it close. Javin Sori to Augie Cazares. Cazares loses out on the cutback. Seahorses will look to break. There's really nobody there. Hancock to Kiffey, who hits it to Colvey. Over the top again, and we've now reached the conclusion of regular time in the opening half. No indication yet as to time added on. Fusion deserve a first half goal. Let's see if they'll get one. Kory tracking it down, and ultimately that goes out for a throw-in. LaGrassa's cross, and Stanley was ready to glance that one on. Another throw-in coming, and Kory, it's been a dominant first half, but nothing to show for it in a match when you must have a win.
Yeah, definitely, and keeping an opponent in the game after you get several chances, it makes you kind of think to yourself that, oh, maybe we won't get a goal, and it makes the other team kind of think that they will get a goal at some point. So it's definitely good to finish teams off when you get the chances too. So hopefully, or maybe we'll see that in the second half by the Fusion.
I think hopefully was a good way to say that. Defense has performed well, though.
Yeah, they're looking strong. I don't think the balls over the top are really affecting them too much.
That is the end of our 1 minute of added time, and that is halftime. Fusion with the predominance of chances, but unable to find the back of the net. It's been a great first half here on Caps TV and Fusion TV with former Fusion great Kory Kindle. My name is Danny Page. We will take a time out here on the broadcast and come back with the second half of play. At halftime, Ventura County Fusion 0, SoCal Seahorses 0.
Replacing number 23.
Second half set to kick off here. Fusion TV in conjunction with our partners at the Community Access Partners of San Buenaventura, or CAPS. Visit them online, capstv.org. They make these games possible. Multi-camera shoot. Thanks to Evan Carpenter, Phil Taggart, and the crew here tonight. Donald McConnell running things. Great crew. Love working with them. And check out archive versions of our Fusion matches, of course, as well. YouTube.com/VCFusion. My name is Danny Page. With me, former Fusion great Kory Kindle. And we talked a little bit about it, Kory, just before the second half started. It's a little disappointing Fusion sit at this point, not up at least a goal or two. They've had the best opportunities by far.
Yeah, they've been getting some great looks up top and just being clinical in that final third and putting in a goal, and maybe that'll happen right here.
Yeah, here's Javin Torrey. Torrey into the area, just loses control. Boy, you love those really stretching runs he makes, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's just important that the defensive mids get back and replace him as he's going forward.
It was Alvaro Beltran started the match, but really has seen little attacking action. Nicely getting into the game in the opening seconds. Shot on goal. As I count, it seems like really one of the first shots on target for Seahorses, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely does. When it gets cold here, usually the turf will start getting a little faster. The ball will start being moved quicker. Maybe be a good thing for the Fusion.
Passing's been great, especially in the midfield. LaGrassa, Bell, Cazares, understanding their responsibilities. The back line's been really solid. And so is James Kiffey. Kiffey trying to tease that in for Stanley, and now here's a corner. Kiffey will trot over and take it with the left boot. He's dangerous when he's sending these in. Tony Alfaro making a late run into the area, the center half, and here's Kiffey's corner. Boy, it was in the right area. There was just nobody home. Jeremiah Wright tries to chase that down. Instead, it went out. Throw-in coming for Fusion. A couple minutes into the second half, and Bell tries to cross that. Ends up falling for Kiffey. Kiffey, just his second touch is too strong.
Trying to get it on that left foot.
Sterling Hancock gets that one. Over to Colby. Now here's Cazares. Slipped well for Kip Colby. Kip to Lori Bell. And they'll say Bell was last to touch it. Throw in coming. As we get the second half up and running here at the Ventura College Sportsplex. The OC Patio Doris Blues have lost already today as they tried to move into second place. 3-2 home loss to FC Tucson. As that ball's a little strong for Minter. And another score to bring you up to speed. Sitting in front of Fusion atop the table, the Los Angeles Missioneros. They trail 2-0 at halftime to Fresno Fuego. Boy, doesn't that make this...
That'd be a good result, though, for Fusion. Correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great result for Fusion, but doesn't it make this just that much more important? The result here, here's Wright. Wright gets loose to Cunningham. Cunningham shot scooped up by Mitchell. Some positivity, though, and a couple opportunities to at least take a crack for Seahorses. Yeah, my point, Kory, is I think that just makes this that much more important, really, doesn't it, for Fusion?
Yeah, definitely. You have to be so clinical in the final third, especially with points, important points being on the board that you need to reach the top of the table. It's really important that get one of these goals here.
Cazares to Minter. Chase Minter, a lot of options. Goes for Torrey. It's a little too strong, and Javin just can't get there. Minter has seemed a bit off the pace tonight. I've loved what he's done as a substitute in a lot of matches, and he just hit it a bit too strong there. But it falls back for Javentore. Minter, nice little back heel, proving me wrong.
I got. Wasn't expecting that.
And now here's Chase. Moving across the field to LaGrassa. LaGrassa to Javentore. Torre to Cazares. Augie cuts that back to LaGrassa. Now here's Minter. Back to Matt. Through for Kiff. Kiffy creating some space. Kiffy! Shot goes over. You know, a couple times too, Kory. I know you haven't been at earlier matches this season, but Fusion have either been down a goal or deadlocked, and Kiffy has scored that goal that has brought them back into the game or put them in front. He has 3 on the season, as you noted, but they've all been impactful goals as well. He's that kind of player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Certainly motivates the side as well. Quiet leader sometimes, but
yeah, he's been with the team probably the longest out of all these guys, so it's definitely good that he's shown some leadership by taking over those roles and scoring in important games.
And here's Durant Stanley into the area. Stanley, ball was barely tackled away. That was a dangerous challenge, wasn't it, from the fullback?
Could have been a PK.
You never scored an own goal, but you have given away a penalty at least, right? Just one, probably. Just one.
Yeah, I have, and it was the game after I came back from getting a red card.
Really?
So, yeah.
What were you sent off for?
Oh, man. I've never gotten a red card. That was my first red card I've ever got.
Yeah, I figured. You just don't have that kind of temperament.
Yeah,
This was in college.
Yeah, just shoulder checked a guy.
Nice.
Decleated a guy.
Nice.
Trying to run back line. And
was that 2 yellows or was it?
No, straight red.
Straight red.
Yeah, the center ref didn't see it. I was pretty sly about that.
Oh man. Cazares, speaking of sly, a nice takeaway. Minter tried to find a pocket of space, just couldn't. Minter does well to stay on side, excuse me. Great to have the Colby fam listening from New Zealand. Kip, the Cal Poly student, is a Kiwi. Pleasure to have him with us. '53rd minute.
That was the one place I wish I could have maybe played college ball at. Cal Poly.
Right. Was that a possibility?
Not really, not at the time,
okay.
But
you might have liked to.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, here comes a young star in the making for Fusion and maybe for teams much greater than Fusion. And yes, there are a couple out there. He's a Jamaica U17, U18 international. His name's Brian Rafiq. Has played in Jamaica's youth system. And he just turned 18, in fact, on May 30th. So you take off Durant Stanley, and that's a frustrating performance, isn't it? Because he was pretty outstanding. He just was lacking the final finish. Here's for Rafiq. Still loose in the area. Rafiq trying to catch up to it. And the substitute can't make it 1-0. Somebody has to be able to. Laurie Bell falls to his feet. The ball falls for Rafiq. Now back to Bell. It's tough when you come on cold like that, isn't it, to try and...
It isn't. Soccer's one of those sports where it's really hard to come in 60th minute and get right into the flow of the game, because you're just thrown into the fire, especially if you're up top like he is. It's definitely a hard thing to do, so hopefully he'll make an impact.
Colby looking for Minter. Fusion a little bit more impatient, aren't they? In possession now.
Yeah,
really
I think they're getting a little
goal.
frustrated that they didn't get that first goal in the first half. And oh, there we go.
And now a nice break for LaGrassa. To Rafiq Bryan. Rafiq with a touch and a hit, and it's saved. Fell to that left foot, and boy, a nice break for Ventura County, Kory. It was nearly 1-0. He seems like a dangerous forward too, doesn't he?
Yeah, similar traits, I would say.
Right.
To Stanley.
Has made appearances in a youth team for another CONCACAF nation as well. Similarity.
Yeah. CONCACAF's doing pretty well in the World Cup as well.
It's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What do you make of Costa Rica? I just can't get my head around it.
Yeah, I'm still unsure about them.
I don't understand.
Yeah, some lucky bounces, but I think they're going to compete for sure. Especially they're playing Greece, I believe.
We
So.
do need to remember that they played an Uruguayan side without Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
And we've seen what Uruguay is with and without Suarez.
Yeah, definitely.
Torre trying to weave around the defender. Wouldn't it be something if some way, somehow, and I don't think it's an impossibility, Mexico upset the Dutch in the morning. Again, this is the stage Mexico go out every year, basically. This is exactly when they lose in the World Cup. This would be the 6th consecutive tournament that they've dropped out at this stage.
And they got pretty unlucky with the draw they got with the Netherlands. Probably picking up top form right now going into that game.
No, absolutely. But to say the least, I think Mexico can pull off the upset. I mean, what if there was a quarterfinal that was Mexico-Costa Rica? Unpredictable.
Gosh, that'd be something.
It can happen. Let's not talk about Tuesday yet, though. I'm just too nervous. I think it's funny to watch as, you know, it's been incredible how America has rallied around this team, and the audience is just massive for the World Cup. But, you know, you're watching with a lot of fans that are newer fans to the game, and I just don't think they know how emotionally tied up I am to this, you know?
Yeah.
It's, I don't have a club team I follow like the United States, and it just is, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's a lot of fans that don't know how much soccer, football means to these other countries. Like it's a religion almost. Like
I think they're starting to understand it, though.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely. But as you saw today after Brazil won, Julio Cesar was crying in the press conference, tears of joy, and similar as Neymar. You know, it's huge for them. So
yeah,
it's great to see that.
Weight of a nation for those players.
Yeah.
Pretty intense. But it's been a blast, and we just have a great crowd out at the match tonight. And I wonder if it even is, you know, partially and because of this tournament that has just grasped the excitement of our entire nation. And
yeah, for sure. And that's why it's a very important World Cup, I believe, for the United States as well. If we do well, it'll start pouring some more money into youth soccer foundations, and it'll just be great for the country.
Here's Minter. Looks like Torrey's playing as a forward now. Chipped over for Rafiq. Rafiq, Brian, and a corner kick coming. Okay. Another opportunity here. Approaching the hour mark. It's time, Kory. I'm ready. This goal is coming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Trying to be positive.
Got a bunch of corner kicks. Maybe this one will get a lucky bounce here.
This corner kick from Kiffy will swing outward. Half a dozen Fusion players assemble in the area. And here's Kiff's corner. Minter nearly had a chance, but well headed clear. Punched back in by Cazares. Comes to the onside Kiffy. Low cross for Kiff! And it was just beyond Javentore. Nice back heel to Augie. Augie crosses. Will it fall for Fusion this time? No. Left a little exposed.
It's a good job of closing down right there.
Hancock over to Augie Cazares. I think Javentore on the near side, number 11, has just completely given up his left back duties.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of Seahorse play being produced down that right side though, so it's given him the opportunity to stay up wide, and it seems like the center backs are doing a decent job of holding down the back.
Here's Minter. Bell! And that's just wide. Laurie nearly made it 1-0 in the 60th minute, nearly at the hour mark. It's a difficult shot to hit, isn't it, too, when as a right-footed player, you're trying to curl the ball beyond the goalkeeper's far post.
Especially when that ball is coming in at a pretty fast pace towards you and whipping it around, hopefully goes far post there.
I mean, it's obviously the ideal setup for a left-footed player, but to have to drag it across the front of the goalkeeper, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Not that I would really know. It sure is hard to watch. Seahorses free kick, and this is where this can get dangerous. You really never know. We've seen it so much over the years with Fusion because they dominate the opposition in possession, and then you give up a cheap one. Here's the free kick, headed back into the mixer, and Mitchell punches it away. Falls for Jeremiah Wright though. Wright creates some space, a little bit more, looking to hit. Weaving right, and that's out for a corner kick. As we hit the hour mark, my name's Danny Page. With me, former Fusion great Kory Kindle, drafted by the Colorado Rapids. Now has hung up his boots and is working on a career in broadcasting. It's been fun to have you, man. I mean, geez.
Yeah. No,
when was the first time I covered a sporting event of yours? Like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think back in high school, playing basketball and soccer at the same time.
At the same time. It was incredible. You would play games every day. Here's the corner, right in the center of the box. Free, and it's 1-0 to Seahorses. It looked like that might have trickled wide, but some way, somehow, in the 61st minute, a Seahorse sucker punch. Matt Raines scores, and now Fusion with a lot of work to do.
Yeah, so we're just talking about keeping your opponent in the game as you're dominating them, and just get one unlucky bounce and one goal is Fusion soccer.
Very few opportunities for Seahorses, but they made it count, and it is 1-0. Matt Raines with the goal, just unable to clear the header.
The three midfielders pinch, and one sits in front. We'll pressure outside when it comes.
Really a bit of a sucker punch too, isn't it? How do you bounce back from something like that?
Just got to regroup. Starts from the back line. Starts from the keeper, actually. Got to stay positive and
keep pushing forward. Yeah. I will say this, Fusion have attacking options on the bench, and Fusion have a lot of space to press as well.
There's a lot of time still, too.
Abu Danladi has come on. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been in the mix to join Fusion for quite some time now. Gatorade National Player of the Year, Abu Danladi. A high school distinction, obviously. Headed to UCLA. He's a forward. Where's number 4? So the attacking grouping looks to be Kiffy, Danladi, Rafiq. Pretty interesting that you have 2 brand new players.
Yeah.
Both making their debut, although extremely talented, obviously. Kory, the high school national player of the year, and then a young man that's a Jamaica under-18 international.
Yeah, it's always hard bringing in new people, though, to a team, as you saw with USA. Maybe not the talent that Portugal had, but showed that they were actually a better team than Portugal. So
it's tough trying to make it work sometimes.
Yeah.
Dunn High School in the San Ynez Valley at Los Olivos is where Abu went. He'll be playing with Javentores at Bruin next year. Let's see if the future teammates can combine. The one thing I will say is there's a lot of time left. There's 25 minutes plus left in this game, Kory, and Fusion are just going to attack. It's going to be a brilliant conclusion to this game, isn't it?
Yeah, Torres just pushing up so high on this left side, hoping for a switch ball and get one into the box.
It's really just the 2 center backs back.
Yeah. They've handled it well all game, though.
One thing I will say that's positive is and it's probably the reason why, Jeremiah Wright, I mentioned him earlier, he scored against Fusion, created another goal in Fusion's 3-2 win over Seahorses. He's been subbed out. He is brilliant on the counterattack, so I think that's one reason why they're pushing forward.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Nice back heel, Kiffy. And offside on the far side is the Fusion attacking player, Dinladi. Well, this wasn't in the script, was it? OC Blues lose, Missioneros down 2-0. Fusion controlling the match. And then just hit on a set piece, of course. And Fusion trails 1-0. I look up at the scoreboard, it's hard to believe. Just the way this game is gone.
Easily could have been 3-0 Fusion in the first half. A bit more clinical, but it's not the way the soccer gods always have it, is it?
Well, and I think, I don't know if you've had a similar experience. It's what a nice little touch. Over to Rafiq Bryan. Sprinting across like the entirety of the field. Gets back to him. He's through. Could he score on his debut? It's a nice save from Kaufman. Got to put those opportunities away, even if it is your first match for the club, right?
Definitely.
Probably could have gone a bit higher. Is that the thought?
Yeah, it seemed like that far post was pretty open over there. Could have slipped it a little wider. We'll get some more looks, I think.
I would say so. Bell plays that wide to Colby. And let the attack commence, really.
Colby's been a bit more quiet in the second half, I'd say.
Bell, again, to Rafiq. Pardon me, it's Dinladi. Dinladi trying to create a little room. Dinladi crosses. The low drifting cross. Sort of skidding along the turf. Oh, and that one's too strong. Goal kick. Well, been in this position before. That is what I would say.
Yeah.
When you look back at Fusion's matches here, going all the way back to the beginning of the season, this is just a very familiar story for this team and where they've been. If we go back to the opening home match in the United States Open Cup, Fusion went 1-0 down to CD Aguiluchos and earned a draw. In their 1-1 draw with Missioneros in Los Angeles in mid-May, they only earned the draw with an 88th minute goal. Went down early to Missioneros 2 weeks later. A loss to Las Vegas in the middle, but now 3 consecutive come from behind wins. And if they are to win 4 on the bump, or at least stretch it to a 4-match unbeaten streak, they will need to come from behind again tonight. And the clock is ticking. In a match like this, when you are chasing, when you now need a goal, but you prefer to, how frequently as a player do you look at the clock? It's in the stadium, it's right before you. Do you pay attention?
Definitely. I caught myself looking at the clock pretty regularly, even if we were up and seeing how much time was left, because it's a good gauge to kind of to see just to basically see how far you're running, and you don't want to get fatigued too early in the game. So I'm always looking at it, but definitely when you're losing, you're looking at that thing, hoping they add on more time rather than subtract time.
Sure.
So.
Sure. And it goes by, as a player, I would imagine it's interesting how quickly it moves sometimes and then how slowly, right?
Yeah.
Bell over for Kiffy.
When you're up in games, it seems like the clock is just moving so slow, and when you're down, it seems like it's...
Here's Colby. Colby into the area. Colby's attempted shot is blocked. Now falls for LaGrassa. That's blocked too. Colby to send it back in. Bell's shot is saved. And I think you have to take a moment now, Kory, and praise this Seahorses goalkeeper for some of the saves he's made.
Strong hands there too.
Really on the Rafiq Bryan attempt too. He got big just a couple minutes ago, and where would we be if that had slipped past this goalkeeper, Hayden Kaufman? Jordan Vale comes on. You know what? Let's throw another forward on. Why not? Kiffy's corner, a lot of space, and Blory nearly got there. Goes out for another corner kick. Kaufman that time came to punch, and
another corner kick coming up here.
Didn't come away with much. 70th minute now. And Kiffy's corner. Near post. Has to go. And it does. Tony Alfaro.
It's a great flick right there.
Goes over to congratulate his teammate, Kiffy. And Kiffy, a great ball. And Alfaro just really glances it in. So beneficial for Fusion to get that second corner kick. And we have the benefit on our monitors of having another look to the near post.
That's just a great flick, back post.
Is he flicking that on for a teammate, or is he trying to sneak it in?
You know, it's just hoping to flick it somewhere positive, honestly. Like, I don't know if he meant to score that. He probably did, but maybe hitting the back post as well and hoping someone's going to be there for the far post run as well. So it's more or less just getting it near the goal and hoping it goes in. At least for me, anyways.
And now the initiative rests with Fusion. Quality stuff. Here's Vale. Of course, now Fusion are even 1-1 and have two center backs, probably one or two midfielders, it seems like, and about 5 forwards. Javantori's tucked back a little bit. Here's Rafiq Bryant. He is all over the field, isn't he? The Jamaican U18 international.
For the Fusion, though, you want to keep attacking.
Absolutely.
Don't want to just settle for a tie at this point.
Absolutely. Remember, a win moves Fusion top the table. Nice ball, and Torrey heads that back to Trey Mitchell.
Those
and
are
rolls it right back out to Javin.
Those are the ones I was comfortable with.
Yeah, you were all over those. I think it's more the chested ball where you can't put much power behind it.
Yeah.
Never scored an own goal, huh?
Never.
That's awesome.
Never came close.
Never came close.
No.
You
Always
just,
a pretty cautious player.
You know, you just never put yourself in bad situations. It's like some guy that says, hey, I've never been mugged. And it's, yeah, well, you never walk down dark alleys. 73rd minute now. Great to have you with us here on Fusion TV. Our next telecast will be Wednesday, July 9th. And then, of course, to follow that, Tuesday, July 15th, as the Ventura County Fusion host Glasgow Rangers from Scotland. What a friendly match that will be. We'll have that for you coming up in July. But we return home on Wednesday, the 9th. Happy 4th of July to all of you. Fusion will have updates via Twitter during the upcoming road trip. Evan Kenny Geyer comes on for James Kiffy. Normally a center back. Kiffy seemed pretty gassed, and now you have someone that will play at the right back spot. He can also play there as well. And it allows your forwards to basically just fly forward as they do. Please, I think. Opens things up a bit for those individuals. Hit back to Sterling Hancock. Over to Kip Colby. Excuse me, that's Kenny Geyer, actually. And Colby has moved forward from the right back spot. Outside of the boot. Tough ball to play, but Torre smart to it. Cazares loses out in possession. Fusion looked to have recovered well, although Seahorses with a chance to cross, and it's just behind the on-rushing player. Second ball. And I thought that was 2-1. Wow. Very close as that shot just drifted wide.
Had some time there, but thought he had the shot and almost made it, so not a bad effort.
It had a nice trajectory.
Yeah, looked good from up here.
I was sure that was going in. Needless to say, I'm rather pleased that it didn't. Still at the half, Fuego 2, Missioneros 0. If it's not still at the half, they just haven't updated their Twitter account. But any way you look at it, a Missioneros loss combined with a Fusion win moves Fusion top the table. And the goal difference advantage for Missioneros due to the fact that they beat the Las Vegas Mobsters 7-0 the other night.
7-0.
That's something, huh? Fusion lost to the Mobsters away just 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
It's funny how this league works sometimes, isn't it? Players available, players unavailable. Musical chairs sometimes, and it's how you manage that game. Here's Lori Bell. Lori looking for a pass on the right, and Evan Kenny Geyer, again, he's played mostly at center back, has to kind of adjust to being in the place that he was expected to be in. Jordan Vale to Bell. To Vale, and they just can't sift it through. And back to Hayden Kaufman. Things have toned down a bit, haven't they, since the goal?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like the beginning of the game again. They're kind of feeling each other out and seeing where each team is at before they make their final move here.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lull. A calm before the storm, maybe. Kenny Geyer's left chasing on that right-hand side.
It's also when fatigue, though, sets in around the 70th minute mark.
What was it like playing in those warm conditions in Bakersfield? I suppose it would start to turn a little bit chilly in the fall, but no
yeah,
less.
a little chilly. A little chilly is 95 degrees probably in Bakersfield,
right.
But no, it was hot, but I think we got used to it out there in Bakersfield and used it to our advantage when other teams from the coast or another state came over and played us. So it was definitely to our advantage, and none of us were complaining. So
nice job pulling away from Dinladi there, but he'll be called for the handball. The ball went off his thigh. It was clearly a case of ball striking hand, but at the same time, when it's within your own control, difficult for the official not to call that.
Yeah,
I do understand. Abu Dinladi, just another one of these new additions for Fusion. Gatorade Player of the Year. Here's Rafiq Bryan.
fast.
Yeah, a lot of pace. He's 18 years old. Here's Bell, creating some space, trying to feed the pace of Rafiq Bryan. And that is taken away. What can Seahorses kickstart? Jordan Vale tries to poke that away. Here's Josh Clark, whose attempt went wide just a moment ago. Space into the area, and the flag goes up. Offside. And the ball's blasted out of play. In the 79th minute, goal kick coming for Trey Mitchell. A draw would do, but again, against the team that has a draw and 8 losses, that's not really what you want.
Yeah, especially on a night tonight, got a great crowd out. Give them a win as well.
Great point. Cazares tracks back to take that one. Here's Sterling Hancock. Tries to slip that one down the line. Colby down to get it. Out in front, Colby, great touch to get into the area. The cutback was on for Dinladi.
It's a good read there by the defender, though. Saw him pick up his head, and he knew he was going to pull it back and just slipped in there and intercepted that thing.
Awareness is such a key element, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And you're right, defender did a great job to pull back into the space and make sure Dinladi wasn't left free about a dozen yards out. Little overhead kick, seeking out Dinladi. Vale trying to track back. Josh Clark over the top, finds Trey Mitchell. Bell. Rafiq Bryan, trio of defenders around him. 2 players going in for that header. It ultimately falls to the third individual, Jordan Vale. Diagonal ball, seeking out Bell, bounces in the area. Just punch clear. Good goalkeeping again. Again, we have to give him some credit.
Interesting ball there as well.
Really, wasn't it?
Looped over the top and almost got in behind.
I'm surprised Kaufman didn't come for it before it bounced. And Bell tries to slip that one through. It's not on. Left back pushing forward. Mitch Power. Tackled away, out of play. Last to touch it. A Seahorse. Pass back to Hancock. Figure out exactly where to go with that. Makes a nice pass forward to Jordan Vale. Vale has some time. Trying to get on the same page, I think, with Dunladi, which easier said than done.
Oh,
although he plays it through
back
quite well to him. Shirt tug, foul called. Great position for a free kick, isn't it?
Yeah, they just subbed Kiffy out, so I wonder who's gonna be stepping up and taking this.
Andy Moya will come in midfield. I think this is a really solid move. Moya just can play as that anchor in the center of midfield. Looks like Colby will take this with the right foot. And here comes the free kick. Well taken. On the volley! 2-1! Fusion! It felt perfectly for Jordan Vale getting it, but with all the job left to do, Vale put that one home, and it's 2-1. It might have actually been turned in ultimately by Abu Dinladi. We'll take a look on our monitors here. Colby with a really nice free kick. Huge goal for Fusion. Headed back, and it looks like, yes, it did
Great
come
technique
off.
too. Ball coming down, you got to make sure you stay on top of the ball there.
So tough, just keeping it low to the ground so it can sort of pinball around.
Yeah, just hitting off the volley like that's a pretty hard thing to do, and took full advantage of it and connected perfectly with it.
How do you like that? 83rd minute. Big goal for Fusion, to say the least. And now it's an easy substitution. You bring off your attacking midfielder. You bring on your defensive midfielder. Although it's not over yet. A cross-field cross. And Bryan chases it down, shoves the attacker out of the way, and that is a corner. You're right, this is exactly what you don't want to give up.
Familiar territory where the Seahorses were just at a few minutes ago.
Although not as much doing as before there. Deflected, could have gone anywhere. Now Mitchell can just blast it downfield. He has 2 Fusion players streaking out beyond the halfway line. It'll fall for Dinladi. Takes it down perhaps a little bit much on it. Dinladi, round the defender, cuts back for Rafiq Bryan. Hits it to Jordan Vale and just smashed it at him. A little miscommunication there.
Things getting a little chippy down here. With Dinladi.
Yeah, I saw that, away from the ball, and now a foul called against Fusion.
Nice tackle.
Pretty bad challenge, I think, and it really is getting chippy at this point, isn't it? Now, let me add that if you had relinquished a lead a second half lead, no less. The same team twice in 10 days.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty happy. And that's where things stand.
Pretty obvious foul there, though.
Yep, no question. Get down the line. Went out of play or was he offside?
Fans, if you've enjoyed yourselves.
All right, here we go, 86th minute. And I'll tell you what, I keep looking at the clock. It's actually moving rather quickly. I'm not as concerned as I might have thought it would be. Big 3 points this would be for Fusion as it stands. Missioneros trail Fuego 2-0. And the two teams would be joint top. It would mean that, you know, and as the PDL season moves along, the teams frequently have different numbers of games played at different times. Well, in this case, the top 4 teams would all have played 10. Missioneros would be on 18, Fusion on 18, Blues on 14, and San Jose Earthquakes PDL also on 14. So it would be a good barometer as to where we really are.
Yeah.
10 done, 4 to go. Vale goes up, tries to win that, and he'll be called for the foul. The Colvey family hits me up on Twitter, makes a great point, says, Kiwi connection, go Fusion. Jordan Vale is also from New Zealand, and he and Colvey connecting for that goal. How do you like that? Long ball in, Trey comes to get it, punches it away. What can Vale kickstart here? Tries to slip that one for Dinladi. Dinladi in behind the defender, great first touch. Dinladi cuts it across, and it's just a bit soft. Thought he would have a go there for a minute. Instead, unselfishly sought out his teammate Rafiq Bryan. Would have been a brilliant ball if it had made its way through those two defenders.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision he made. Just, again, unlucky with that last final touch there.
And now Dinladi's down on the other side of the field. Might have just tweaked something here in the 88th minute. Perhaps just a little cramp. As far as I know, Dinladi has not really been playing, at least in a league sense, competitively. So he's got to be a little cold out there.
Good show of sportsmanship there.
Well, we are really getting down to the nitty-gritty in this match, aren't we? Here's Vale, who's really done well since he's come on as a substitute. Vale back for Andy Moya, his first touch. Crossfield pass to Rafiq Bryan. In the 80, yeah, look at Bryan. You can't keep up with him. Where's he going to go with it, though? To the end line. Tackled out of play. Corner kick coming for Fusion. No, goal kick given. I didn't see that, but he doesn't seem to be arguing much in regards to the decision.
Yeah.
Alfaro, nice header.
Been really impressed by the back line. Again, they've been doing such a good job of winning those first balls and getting on those second balls.
And you want your back line to just grow in rhythm and confidence as the season goes on. And having seen most of Fusion's games this year, it's the best they played.
Yeah.
Javentore. Holds up play a bit. Look at that move by Torre. He's a talented young man. Very intelligent individual, too. Dedicated, certainly, to his studies at UCLA. At least more than I was in college. Here's Rafiq Bryan. And this time, no doubt, Kory, this time he does earn the corner kick.
That'll be a corner kick coming up for the Fusion.
As we move to the 90th. Time running out for Seahorses. And Fusion seems to be the only team really attacking. Colvey will come over as Fusion will look to hold it in the corner. His lesson in time wasting. Something the United States could have kept an eye on.
Yeah.
Although probably would have ended up in the exact same place. Second in the group. Had 4 heart attacks during the Germany game. I was losing it, man.
I know.
Just pacing around the
There
room
will be 3 minutes
endlessly.
of extra time here. 3 minutes.
Poor touch as that ball trickles out of play. 3 minutes of added time here. Kory, your thoughts on Fusion and what they've been able to do this evening?
I thought they've been doing well. They've been keeping possession. Just been lacking that.
Final cutting edges. That was a nice little touch from Jordan Vale, and I think you said it right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Just lacking that final piece there to the puzzle. But if the results stay the same, I mean, they definitely deserve the win.
all's good. All's well that ends well, but this certainly has not ended. A couple minutes remain. Seahorses would, speaking of the final piece of the puzzle, they've really struggled in possession in the second half. Even when they went 1-0 up, you realize that it was going to be all systems go for the Ventura County Fusion. So just to remind you, Fusion go on the road for the 4th of July holiday, a trip to Fresno Fuego, and then the San Jose Earthquakes. And now, can Fusion seal it? Here's Dunladi, creates some space. Dunladi shoots, and it's punched away. Colby will go to track it down. He might do well to just hold it in the corner.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do right now.
Here's Jordan Vale.
Yep.
A lot of space there for Moya. Moya cuts that one back. Colby. Just enjoying this little spell of possession as we're halfway through the 3 minutes of added time, the minimum 3 minutes. Alfaro. Will Torrey win this? Yeah, you don't even want to mess with him, do you? Rafiq Bryan. Rafiq Bryan working into the corner. That pace and strength combination is something, isn't it?
Definitely is.
Here's Dunladi as Fusion try to tick away time. That's given away, though. 93rd minute for Ventura County Fusion. Players onside. Mitchell comes for it, and Trey just blasted into the crowd.
Just got that one in the booth.
And look at the ball girls on the near side. They can't believe their eyes. They couldn't believe how high the ball went. They hadn't tossed it back, and now probably the last chance. Mitchell comes for it. Mitchell hauls it with one hand. It's like a winger out there. Blake Griffin hauling one in from Chris Paul or something. And then 2 final home matches in 3 days for Fusion. We hope you'll join us on Wednesday, July 9th and Friday, July 11th. Perhaps the postseason? It all depends, a lot of it. The last 15 seconds here. Now last chance for Seahorses. Driving into the area. Moya holds off the defender and just played out for a throw-in instead of a corner. There won't be time to take it. 4 straight wins, all from losing positions, as Fusion go on to claim a crucial 2-1 victory over the SoCal Seahorses. Kory, Fusion had 6 points from their first 6 matches. They have 12 from their last 4. What a run.
That's great for them.
Talk to me about what you really saw tonight in this ultimate win.
Just saw the Fusion playing well, playing good soccer, switching the field when they needed to, and getting those 2 goals when they were down. So they definitely fought back and, definitely showed that they were the better team tonight.
And just, Kory, your final thoughts on having played for this organization and coming back to see where it is, having been a part of the Fusion faithful, as we call it.
Yeah, no, definitely growing up here, especially and playing in front of your hometown fans, and seeing that the Fusion are still winning when you're gone, and just carrying that, not legacy, but carrying somewhat of a legacy. So, no, it's good to see that they're winning and, again, top of the table.
It's good to see you're doing well, too, my friend. It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure having you here with me.
That's been great.
For a couple hours. What a blast it's been hanging with Kory Kindle. You can watch this broadcast, an archive of this broadcast on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/VC Fusion. Next home game, Wednesday, July 9th. It was never easy for Fusion, was it? But in the end, effective. 4 consecutive wins. all come from behind victories, and the Ventura County Fusion have climbed to first place. Big thanks to our entire production team, our director, Phil Taggart, our producer, Evan Carpenter, my broadcast partner, Kory Kindle. My name is Danny Page. Another nice night at the Sportsplex. 3 points for the Ventura County Fusion as they move in to a first-place tie. Full-time score, Ventura County Fusion 2, SoCal Seahorses 1. Good night.